Today is the fourth video for the golden era. We will talk today about one important dancer in this time or during this time. She was the second, of course, because the first one we were talking about her last time or last video, Tahia Carioca. And the second one, of course, she is, you can say, number one or number two, depends on the feeling of love with her dance, her performance, her feeling. She is completely different than Tahia Carioca, but she have a special flavor. I don't know, I want to explain you something very important. During this week, last week, when I was collecting all the information about her, I felt sad and suffer of what she lived in her life. She faced a lot of problems and was very strange for me. Even I met her once before she died. 1 year before she died, or maybe a few months, 9 months or something like that before she died, and we sat together, talking together. Even she didn't mention any of these suffer she lived in her life. Was very strange for me, but really I love her very much. Of course, you know, all of you know now her name, Samia Gamal. Samia Gamal, she is a special, or she was a special actually. As I told you, I'm still live in her suffer until now. I will not tell you all what she faced, but some of what she faced in her life, which changed her life to be like that, to be the great Samia Gamal. By the way, she have two names, or let me say two words they said to her here in Egypt. The butterfly of Oriental dance, which I think most of you know this. The second name or the second word for her was wonderful, yes, also. They said to her, unto her, that she was or she is the Egypt's official Oriental dancer, or she is Egypt's official dancer. These two meanings very important to understand Samia Gamal actually. I loved her very much. I fell in love with her until now. Even until now, I feel that I'm still love her very much, and I will not forget what she did and her performance and all her movies, her dancing, her performance, everything about her. Let us go now and see the life of Samia Gamal. You have to know something very important. She started from down to up, and then from up to down, like that exactly. So she started from down, which it means she was nothing, same like most of us, and then she became as a wonderful star, and from this point as a wonderful star she go down once more again and then disappeared. This is what I love to tell you from the beginning. Samia Gamal, she came from a farmer area, or let me say she came from Upper Egypt, from Bani Suef. Bani Suef located 45 kilometers far from Cairo. So that means exactly she came from Upper Egypt. And as I told you before, Upper Egypt, including farmers, same as also Delta. But in Upper Egypt is different, or Upper Egypt is different little bit than Delta for a lot of points. I explained it to you several times before. She came from an ordinary family, not a high family or something like that, or same like other dancers or something like this, but an ordinary family. When she had 12 years old, around, or yeah, close to 12 years old or 13 years old, her mother died. Then her father married from another one, as normal or as usual in Upper Egypt or in all of Egypt. Her stepmother, she was very hard, and she did a lot of bad things with her to let her feel suffer and to let her feel that she don't want to stay with her longer or long time at her home. I mean actually that she was using her all the whole day, working inside the house, outside the house, everywhere, and beating her and do a lot of bad things with her. And in the end, she decided to escape. Same like Tahia Carioca too. So she decided to escape when she had around 13 years old. Where she will go? Actually, she had a sister who was living in Cairo. She married and lived in Cairo. So she decided to go to her sister and stay with her. It was something like this, already done. She went to Cairo and went to her sister. Her sister also was married in Egypt, in Cairo, and was ordinary people. They working hard to live, and you understand what I'm talking about. So she decided to work too in Cairo. She worked in many places until she started to know some neighborhood was living near to their house in Cairo. This woman, their neighborhood, she fell in love with cinema, and she was going to cinema every day. Suddenly one day she asked Samia Gamal to go with her to one film, to see one film in the cinema. By the way, Samia Gamal, her real name is Zainab, not Samia Gamal. Zainab Mahmoud, not Samia Gamal. Then they went together several times until one day she asked her to go, but it was a film, it would be in the evening. They went together to this movie, they watched the movie, but she came back home very late, which led her sister sad, and of course her husband, the husband of her sister, started to beat her too, and was so big disaster, which let her again think that she has to escape once more again. So the second time now she will escape. So she escaped already, and she went outside, moved in the streets or walk in the streets until she reached a cafe, was very famous at this time. This cafe called El Gamal Cafe. Went inside into the cafe and sat in, asked for something to drink, and she sat and was crying. The owner of this cafe went to her table and asked her what had happened, why she is crying. In the beginning she was afraid to talk with him, but step by step she explained to him some stories about her life, and step by step she started to talk and she started to say a lot of things, and she explained to him everything about her life, what had happened with her. And of course she told him that this was the second time she escaped again out of this suffer, what she saw and what had happened with her. After she explained everything, suddenly he asked her why not if they go together to a lady, a very famous lady in the society in Cairo, and maybe she can find a good work for her. This lady, I think all of you know now who she is. Badia Massabni. the cafe was not far from Badia Massabni's casino, so she agreed and said to him, yes, okay, we can go together. They went together, met Badia. The first impression with Badia or from Badia was she is perfect. Okay, then Badia said to El-Gamal, the owner of the cafe, that she agreed and she will taking care of her, and she can work with them or with Badia in her casino. Badia asked her if she can dance or not, or she loved to dance or not. Of course, Zainab, her name, her real name, said to her yes, she loved dancing because she saw exactly a lot of movies and she loved exactly this type of art. So she said to her she loved dancing very much, but she never danced before. She didn't do it before. So why not? Let us try. Badia asked her, what is your name? Samia was very clever in this moment, or later during her life, by the way. She told her that her name is Samia Gamal. So now you know why her name is Gamal now. Gamal, this name coming from El-Gamal, the cafe she was in. So she told her that her name is Samia Gamal. Of course, she told her later her real name, but she chose this name because this name is wonderful, because there were no Zainab dancer in this time or during this time, or we didn't hear about also some or a dancer with this name before. Anyway, she chooses this name and she told her that her name is Samia Gamal, and she became like that until the end. She sat with Badia for about maybe 2 months. She tried to remember all the steps, what she saw in the movies she watched with the neighborhood, and she tried to do something wonderful or something like what she saw, and maybe change some or do some more or something like that. And in the end, she said to Badia that she is ready, can go dance on a stage. Badia said, okay, you can enter the stage. They chose one day and told her, okay. The first day Samia Gamal entered the stage was very important for her, and of course very important for Badia too. I believe now that all of you thinking now that she made or she did a wonderful dance steps or wonderful performance. Wait, you will hear what had happened. Samia Gamal entered the stage. Suddenly, she found a lot of audience in front of her. They start clapping to her, and they were waiting to watch something wow, same as Badia usually doing every evening. There were a live band in this time, of course. This is long ago. There were no video tape or music on CD or something like that. Live band. So the live band did some opening or something like that, and suddenly Samia Gamal entered the stage. When Samia Gamal entered the stage, saw all of these audience clapping to her, waiting to her dancing, she stopped, shy. She started to feel strange. Why I am here? What is going on? What will happen? And what I have to do? Something like that. And she started to feel shy and stopped, looks like a statue on the stage. The musician started to do the music from the beginning once more again. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. One of them started to say that, move, do something. She stopped and looked at the people, looked at the audience, looked at the musicians, and did nothing. A few minutes, or let me say maybe 5-10 minutes, and suddenly Badia started to be angry. What is going on, Samia? She started screaming from outside to let Samia dancing or to let Samia move, but Samia never moved. Then Badia said, okay, stop, but Samia, and she asked Samia to come or to go out of the stage. Samia, out. She went out of the stage. Normally, if something like this happens with someone, maybe he will fire the dancer or fire the person who did something like this. But what had happened was something very strange. Badia asked Samia in the beginning what had happened. Samia said that she was very afraid and shy of what is going on around her. Badia said, okay, stop tonight, nothing, you will do nothing, and tomorrow we will talk together once more again. The second day, she asked her that she will study dancing, but in a right way, which it means exactly that Badia was thinking that she will bring to her professional teachers to teach her this type of art actually in a right way. Was very good from Badia, and Badia was very clever to think like that. From the beginning, Badia saw that this body, this girl, she can do something special and she will be a special dancer. For this reason, Badia don't want to lose her and want to keep her, to put her in the right way. So she asked some teachers about professional teachers, and they started to teach her the Oriental dance. After 3 months, she became once more again wonderful. She became perfect in her dance steps and everything. She knows exactly and be ready to dance once more again on a stage. This is the second time.
لا مؤاخذة، أصل النور الأحمر ما كانش والع.
Now the second time. Of course, the teachers, Badia Massabni, all the dancers, they were looking for her and see that a wonderful dancer will break the stage now. She will go and do a wonderful performance on a stage. She entered the stage for the second time of her life. The band started playing music. She entered the stage and suddenly one of her shoes broken on the stage. Oh my God! Was the second time on the stage. She stopped and suddenly all of them, they were afraid that she will stop and will not dancing. But what Samia Gamal did, she took off the shoe and threw it away and started to dance onto her tooth like that. Was wonderful, and she did a wonderful dance in this moment. The audience loved her very much, and some of them started to ask her to do once more again and again and again. And when she went outside, some teachers were very upset or sad also, because it was not good that to dance without shoe on the stage in this time. But Badia Massabni loved it very much and asked her to do it again and again and again, because she was the first one dancing like this in Badia Massabni's casino without shoe and do something wonderful, same as Samia Gamal did. From this moment, a lot of dancers in Egypt start to act same like Samia Gamal. Many of them, as we say, or as we said, started to take off their shoes and dancing without shoes. They mentioned her later, they mentioned her by the Oriental dancer without shoe. It was like that. So this is the third mention to her. The first one, as I told you, the butterfly dancer, or the butterfly Oriental dancer, and the second mention for her was Egypt's Egypt's official dancer, and the first one was exactly what I told you, the dancer without shoe. So it started to be famous like this, and step by step it started to be famous in this type of dance, I mean the Oriental dance, until they met Farid El-Atrash. Here starts to be another type of suffer once more again. She fell in love with Farid El-Atrash, and even he also fell in love with her, and they did a wonderful movies together, a wonderful films together, still alive until now. We saw it and we love to watch it every time coming to the TV, or if someone have it, we love to watch it once more again. Farid El-Atrash with his songs and with his voice and music, and Samia Gamal dancing onto his music and something like this. It was a wonderful couple, actually. And if you see one of their movies together, or this couple together on a stage, you will understand exactly that they love each other very much, very much. But was very strange that it was only love. They didn't live together or married or something like this. Why? Because Farid El-Atrash, he was a prince, by the way. He was a prince. And Samia Gamal, she came from Bani Suef. She is a farmer. One day she told him this. Is that because I am a farmer, so you don't want to marry me? Or what? Actually, it was not him, but was his family. His family, they dislike this. So for this reason, they pushed him to not marry her. Was very sad. So what had happened later? After all these movies she did with Farid El-Atrash, she became much more famous. And one day, an American director, he saw her and he came and asked her to dance in a special movie. I think all of you know it. It's called Valley of the Kings with Robert Taylor. So he came and asked her to dance in this movie, and they will take some shots in Egypt. Already she agreed and she danced in this movie. But they have to complete this shows, but in America. So she said okay, and she traveled to America for one reason, or a very important reason, that she will go a little bit away from Farid El-Atrash, because there is no life together. They cannot live together. So she went to America to complete the movie over there, and during this time she met an American person and she married him, and she stayed in America for about 1 year. Did a lot of dances over there. She danced over there in many places, and also did some movies, some more movies over there. After 1 year she came back again to Egypt, and they divorced. After they divorced over there, she came back again to Egypt. One day, when she came back, one day another Egyptian director, asked her to do some performance in a movie, Egyptian movie, and suddenly she met another person. He was an actor, a very famous actor in Egypt, and they fell in love together, and as she said, was the best love for her. She loved him very much, or she fell in love with him very much. Actually, 99% in this time, most of the Egyptians, they were fell in love with this, I mean girls and women, they were fell in love with this actor, Rushdy Abaza, his name. The funny point is, Rushdy Abaza married since long time before Samia Gamal. he married Tahia Carioca. See, he married Tahia Carioca. And then later, in the future, after that, when he met Samia Gamal, he married Samia Gamal in the end. She decided and was also suffer once more again with her. They married together and she decided to stop dancing and to stop do any movies, but only to be as a housewoman or something like this to his house. Rushdy Abaza didn't stop acting in a movies or something like that, but was working in a lot of movies, and he was, we say unto him that Don Juan. He was Don Juan. Play with women everywhere, and a lot of stories about him. I met him also before he died. I met him also, and I know that all girls in Egypt and in the Arab countries, they were fell in love with him, and he was really wow like this. In the end, anyway, they married and she sat at home and they sat together. Samia Gamal didn't have any baby from him or from anyone, but Rushdy Abaza had a girl from someone, I don't know whom actually, and she took her as her baby and stayed like that until the end of them or end of the story for both of them. Around 17 years or something like this, maybe, or maybe less, little bit. But she stopped dancing and suddenly she disappeared. She was only a shadow of him, and that's it. Until one day he was shooting a movie with another actress, and he married her in the end, something like this. When Samia Gamal heard this, she asked him for divorce, and they divorced in the end. Both of them, they were crying because she already decided to divorce, and he was still love her very much, even she was still love him very much, but they divorced in the end. After that, she stayed at home for about, I don't know how long, until another actor asked her, I worked with him too, asked her to dance with him with his band and with his dance troops. So she agreed in the end, and she started to go back again to dance. But in this moment, she asked him, or she said to him that she will dance, but not for a long time. She became an old, but people, they want to see her once more again. For this reason, he told her that people want to see you once more again. They love you very much, and they want to see you once more again. And she agreed and started to dance with him. The first year was wonderful year. The second year, the end of the second year, I met her. And we sat together, we talked together. I was very happy that I sat with the princess of dance. This is Samia Gamal. We were talking together, and I asked her, why not if we can make a group, dance group together, and do something together, me and her. Of course, she is, or she was very old in this time. Not old as an old woman or something like that, but older than me, of course. But because I love her, and I know, I saw her, even when she came back again dancing, she was, or she's still perfect in dance. We were talking about maybe we can do something together or something like this, but in the end, she passed away. This is the story of Samia Gamal, and this is the stages in her life, what had happened with her. All of us in Egypt and all over the Arab world, we fell in love with her. We loved her very much. We saw her, and we love to see her, to watch her every time when we hear that there is a movie for her on our TV channel. Most of us will sit and watch it. This looks like an angel in front of us, dancing and do all of this. There are some points I love to tell you about Samia Gamal and Tahia Carioca. If we make a comparison between both, we will find immediately that Samia Gamal, as I told you, they mentioned her by the butterfly of dancing. Why something like this? Or why we say something like this? Samia Gamal, she came, as I told you, from Upper Egypt, from Bani Suef. And Bani Suef is not far from Cairo, as I told you, located 45 kilometers from Cairo, not far. But this is the first city of Upper Egypt. This area famous for a landscape, gardens, or let me say green area, huge green area. This geographical area influenced her dance steps very much. When she dancing, she looks like actually the butterfly when move from a flower to another, or from tree to another in an open area, something like that. For this reason, that was Samia Gamal during her dance steps. Looks like the butterfly, like that. And there is no a specialist place she has to dance in, or she didn't do something like that. She loved all the time dancing everywhere around the stage. Never stop for one area or one place to dance in. Vice versa with Tahia Carioca. Tahia Carioca, she came from, as I told you, she came from canal cities, especially from Ismailia. Ismailia is not same like Port Said or Suez Canal. Ismailia is famous for a lot of houses, low houses, not high buildings, but low buildings like that. Most of the time, people over there in Ismailia, they live inside their houses, not going outside. Of course, every house over there in Ismailia surrounded by garden area or green area, something like that. But people in Ismailia, they love very much to stay inside houses, inner houses. For this reason, this area over there influenced Tahia Carioca steps, or her dance steps. For this reason, Tahia Carioca, she can dance in one place, a little place, one area. Of course, she was moving everywhere around the stage, or she was doing something like that. But most of the time, you can see Tahia Carioca dancing in one place and doing a wonderful, perfect, wonderful performance. But Samia Gamal, she dancing everywhere around, and sometimes she can stand in one place, but not all the time. These 2 points you have to keep in mind when you understand how the geographical area can influencing our dance steps. Samia Gamal, when she is dancing, you feel that life. You feel green, you feel a lot of colors. Tahia Carioca, you feel a perfect, same like Samia Gamal also, but perfect. Looks like if you bring a girl and a lady. The lady, when she moves as a lady. She is wonderful. I love ladies very much when they're going to move or dancing. But also I love girls when they are dancing. Girls, they are much more have power and energy. Both of them, they have the energy, but in a different ways. Tahia Carioca, lady dancing. Samia Gamal, girl dancing. It is like that. This is the area which can influences our dance steps. Yes, also these 2 points are very important when you keep in mind how these points can influence our dance steps. The funny point is, both of them, they married from one person, which was very strange for me, and both of them, they fell in love with this person. Both of them, they said that he was the best and he was Mr. Don Juan. So this is very important to tell you. Yes, also Anna, I love it very much. Really, I love Tahia Carioca very much. I love Samia Gamal very much. Even their husband, I love him very much. Samia Gamal, she married only once, but Tahia Carioca, she married more than 15 times. Okay, no problem. But Tahia Carioca, from the first one she married until the last one she married, she fell in love with Rushdy Abaza, who in the end married also Samia Gamal. I love this very much. All of them, I respect them very, very much. I think this is the most important points with her life, which I love to share with you. This is the golden era, the most two important dancers in the golden era in this time. And of course, during these videos I shared with you, I mentioned one person, dancer, with her a very special and wonderful dance step. She was famous for this dance step. I will try to collect some points about her life, or some stages about her life, where she began to dance and what she did and something like that, because she is very important also during this life. She was not dancing with or inside Badia Massabni's casino, but she was very famous with her dance step or dance steps. If you go back again to watch my videos, maybe you will catch her name once more again, and let it be something new and surprise for you to tell you something about her, plus also some other dancers in this time or in this era. Okay? So please, if you like my videos and if you like all of this information I like to share with you, please subscribe with me, and don't forget, please, to write down any comments or any question you have. I love very much to receive these comments or these questions from you. And see you next time, very soon.